Hello everyone, welcome to episode 9 of Cooking with Jan. Today we have a special episode because we're actually not going to cook, but we're going to bake. And we're going to bake my, now in Germany, famous American chocolate chip cookies. A lot of my friends and family here have asked for this, and today I'm happy to oblige by sharing this recipe. Chocolate chip cookies are one of the things that makes America great. Every American kid like me grows up with them. I used to enjoy them with milk, where I used to dunk them into the milk, and today I do so with coffee. The cookies themselves were invented in 1930 by a woman by the name of Ruth Wakefield from Massachusetts. She and her husband ran a restaurant called the Toll House. Anyway, she took an old colonial recipe for butter cookies. The United States used to be a British colony, so the recipe was probably from the 18th century. And in the recipe, she substituted nuts with chocolate pieces. And they turned out great. And she named her recipe Toll House. And in fact, today, Nestle uses the name Toll House for a chocolate chip cookie mix that allows you to make the cookies very, very quickly. But you don't need the mix. Making these cookies is, as we say in America, a cinch. For Jan's American chocolate chip cookies, you need, and I'm using the metric system because I'm in Germany, so you have to convert, if you use the imperial system for those viewers in America and other countries that use that system, you need 400 grams of cake flour, very refined flour. I have mixed in almost a teaspoon of baking powder, not quite, about 3/4. Also, please, a half of a teaspoon of baking soda, the Germans call it Natron, and also a half of a teaspoon of salt. Just mixing together, those are the dry ingredients. You set those aside. You have to have 250 grams of butter. Of course, it's a butter cookie recipe. It has to be at room temperature because we're going to whip them into a creamy state in just a bit here. You need lots of sugar. Here, I have not used as much sugar as some. I've got about 180 grams of refined white sugar and another, 130 grams of brown sugar. Just like that. You don't have to combine it. You can just leave it like that in your measuring cup. This is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Very, very important. So you need 2 eggs. And then finally, you need about 100 grams of a dark, semi-sweet chocolate. You can also use chocolate chips, 100 grams. Here I've got about 120. I'm using a little bit more chocolate this time than I normally do, but not more than that because the chocolate can dominate and you don't want that. So this is what I have here. And then I have about 2 or 3 handfuls of walnuts, finely chopped as you see here. So without further ado, let's start mixing our batter. So we're beginning to mix our butter, or whip our butter. It wasn't quite at room temperature, which is why I have to kind of speed it up. Okay, we have a creamy texture for our butter now. So we're going to slowly add our sugar mixture. And again, it doesn't matter that they're separated right now because it all goes into the same pot. We're mixing in our sugar. Let's do another one. I keep the blades going so as not to hold up progress. Our butter has now a creamy texture, and we've added our sugar. The next step is to take the vanilla. If you have a small bottle of vanilla extract, you would just take a teaspoon. In this case, I know it's a teaspoon in terms of the measurement. The next step is to add your 2 eggs. If I can crack them properly without getting any eggshell into the batter. No eggshell. Number 2. Those get mixed into the batter to form your base of butter, white sugar, brown sugar, vanilla extract, and 2 eggs. Make sure you mix well. And next come the dry ingredients. We're going to add like so. Now, you can either use your spatula to mix them, or as I will do, you just use the mixer again. But you have to do it on low speed. Your pot to make sure that all the flour, see the flour underneath there, gets mixed in with the butter. This is a very important step. So we have our cookie dough finished now. This is ready to receive the nuts and the chocolate. There are a number of things to say. This is, of course, extremely delicious. I've left this, it's here for my camera woman, who loves it when I give her some of the batter. And in fact, she tells me that in the supermarkets, they're selling this batter in cups that you can buy and just eat. You know, you don't even have to eat the cookie. This batter is absolutely delicious, and there's probably nobody in the world that doesn't go crazy for it. Okay, here we go with the chocolate chips. This is the manual part of the recipe, where you use your hands for the best effect. First thing I will do though is I will preheat my oven to 190 degrees Celsius. I'm going to use the convection setting on my oven. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but you need a convection oven or an oven with a convection setting, and you have to calculate what the appropriate Fahrenheit degrees is. So we'll do that first. So convection at 190 degrees for my oven, and we'll let that get warmed up. Now we will mix our ingredients with our hands, which of course is great for the baker because he gets to have a little bit of batter as well, by default, you could say. And we have the right texture too. Actually, I'm going to add, I can just feel it, I'm going to add just another tablespoon of flour, just to give them a little bit more solidity than they have right now. Because of course we use a lot of butter. We're using 250 grams of butter, and this is something that I have, over experience, found out. So this is why, of course, baking these cookies is so much fun, because of course you can just do this, or because we're on YouTube, we'll wash our hands. We have 2 baking sheets. How many Toll House cookies you get from this batch, you decide, because it depends on how big you fashion the cookies. You can also put a little bit of flour on your hands, and that'll make them stick a little bit less. So we take our first ball, like so, just like so. You make ball, and then you pat them down a bit. I have a bit of experience with this. Here's the second one. We will see how many we yield, I can't say. I'd say about 25 cookies. We'll see. Okay, the first batch of our cookies are ready to go in the oven, as you can see there. And into the oven they go. Because I have my oven already fired up and roaring at 190 degrees Celsius convection setting. Okay, we're ready to take out our wonderful chocolate chip cookies. I didn't manage to bake that many because my camera woman stole a little bit more of the wonderful batter, but after about 7 minutes, no, it's probably about 6 minutes, they're ready to come out. Look at these beauties. Just like that. And you don't want to overbake them. Just here on the sides, a little bit brown. That's the way I like them. I mean, if you want them a little more well done, that's fine too. It's up to you, but this is our personal choice because they remain a bit chewy. And here comes the next round. Into the oven it goes, and our second batch of chocolate chip cookies are ready. They may be a bit more done than the first batch. No, they're perfect. Exactly what we want. And we'll just slide this over here. I can show you the end product. These are Anka's cookies with a latte macchiato. This is in addition to the batter that she also ate. If you like what you saw today on our video, please give me a like on YouTube. I really appreciate it. And you can subscribe to my channel. And as Jacques Pepin says, happy baking!